The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Women's Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericawomen.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope you're having an absolutely amazing day. Excited to be connecting with you heart to heart today. We're going to be talking about cleansing the clog, finding your balance in life so that you can shine. And I feel like this is a really important time of year to be looking at these things. As we start stepping into the fall, it's a really good moment in time to pause. Take a breath. And feel in to, are you feeling balanced? Are you feeling weighed down with anything? Are you feeling in alignment? Because as we shift with the seasons, it's a really good time to feel into that and then make some shifts, make some changes as we move into the fall, so that as we go into this fourth quarter, we're getting close, we get into the fourth quarter and the holidays, it can start to take on a life of its own and an energy of all its own. So isn't it beautiful to be able to pause for a moment and feel into where we are with that? Are we in a balanced place? Are we feeling strong? Are we feeling rooted? Or perhaps there are some things that are weighing us down a little bit. Perhaps we feel like life is running us some. And we have a moment in time we have today where we can actually pause and start shifting that a little bit so that you can be more in balance. Dig your roots deeper. Cleanse any clog, anything that is weighing you down so that you can step forward powerfully and shine. And I think it's so important, and not just think, I believe. It is really important that we are able to shine powerfully in the world. And what that means is bringing forward who we are, really sharing that gift of how we're made with the world. But it's hard to do that if life is running us, if we're feeling a bit out of balance, if we're feeling weighed down. It's hard to truly be who we are and then echo that out, shine that out in the world. Now, I celebrate you joining us today, pausing, taking a breath, so we can really connect in. And I'm going to invite you to be fully present today. Resist the urge to run off and try to cross things off the list during commercial breaks, etc. Stay fully present. And that will allow you the opportunity to process things real time on a cellular level, so that you really are giving yourself the gift of this time, letting it become part of who you are, so that when you go back out into the world, you're doing it with this already integrated, what we're going to be sharing with you, integrated within you, and taking action, moving forward powerfully in the world. So I hope that's exciting to you. That's what we're here today. That's what we're looking to do and to pour into you. But to get the most out of that, it takes that being fully present. So I'm going to invite you to sit back in your chair, put your feet both on the floor, take a deep breath, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Almost like you're breathing through a straw. Let's breathe in through your nose again. See how big you can make your belly. A little bit bigger. And then out through your mouth like through a straw. Beautiful. And keep breathing like that. That type of breathing will bring you fully present. It'll lower your cortisol levels, your stress levels, so that you actually can receive what is here for you today. Those of you who are driving, I want to encourage you to stay alert, both hands on the wheel, just inwardly tuning in to our conversation. But those of you who are able to, I invite you to close your eyes. Keep breathing. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head, bringing all of you in. And I'm just going to share some things for you to think about. This is interactive. As we talk about finding your balance, cleansing the clog so you can shine. That's our goal. We want to help you shine powerfully and on purpose in life. How are you feeling in that? If we just do a check-in, are you feeling clean and balanced and that you're shining powerfully? I celebrate. I encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. But still tune in. We may have some tips and ideas to help dial things up for you. But perhaps you're feeling weighed down a little bit, not as balanced as you would like. Just acknowledge that. No judgment, no criticism, just kind of recognizing it. Sometimes we don't know because we're so busy. And if so, that's fine. But now that we know, we can start looking to make a shift. So as we look at that, we look at where we are. I want to invite you to also see, do you have space? If we look at 24 hours in your day and the plate that you're carrying right now, let's say that's a 24-hour plate. It can hold 24 hours. Are you trying to put 26, 28, 30 hours on it? Because I guarantee you something will roll off. Do you actually have some extra space on that plate just for you? It's hard to shine and be fully who we are and enjoy that if we're always running, if we're always carrying around this heavy plate that's overflowing. So I want to encourage you today during our conversation to be looking at your plate, to evaluate, am I trying to fit 26, 28, 30 hours on my plate? Am I remembering to take care of myself? Am I remembering to actually put myself in the center of the plate so that I don't roll off, so that you don't roll off? And in that, what is it that you need today that will support you, that will encourage you, that will equip and empower you to release what is not serving, to find your balance and shine? What is it you need today? Just keep breathing. Your eyes are closed. You're absolutely safe. And just receive that information. It can come in a picture, a phrase, a memory, a knowing. Just receive. What is it that you need today that will support you? And secondly, that you are willing to receive. Because we have choice in all. What is it that you need and are willing to receive? See if that shifts your answer a little bit. Wonderful. Once you have that information, I invite you to come back into the room, eyes open, fully present. Take a breath. Beautiful. And I invite you to actually write down what it is that you discovered you need and are willing to receive. We can get so distracted by life and all the things that we do, we can lose track of what it is that we need. And we can miss it when it's right in front of us. Oh, I want to encourage you to keep this top of mind today, carried around with you, so that you are actively on the lookout to receive exactly what you need. Don't be attached to the exact form it comes in. Allow yourself to be surprised, but actively look for what it is that you need today, that you are claiming and you are willing to receive. Beautiful. Let's breathe that in. Great. We're going to go around our virtual room. I have two guests that have joined me today, and they are experts in helping you find your balance, cleansing the clog, and really shining powerfully in your life. I'm going to introduce them formally a little bit later on, but I always love to connect from the heart as we start our conversation. So, Peter, I'd love for you to share if you had something laid on your heart when we paused and listened for a moment.
Yes, thank you, Rebecca. What's on my heart at this time is the idea of creating balance in one's life is particularly important at this time in our country's history and in the history of everybody on this call. So I'm very thankful to be here, and I'm looking forward to providing some ideas in terms of creating balance at a very important time for everyone on this call and our country. Thank you.
Absolutely. We appreciate you being here, and I agree. It's not an accident that we are all connecting heart to heart around this subject today on this show. There's an absolute purpose and need. So I just want to echo that. That's what was laid on my heart as we paused and listened. So, Mary, what was laid on your heart?
Hi, Rebecca. It's good to talk to you again. I think what was on my heart is just understanding and a good reminder that there is nothing stronger and deeper than your breath to reconnect you to living in balance, as well as really taking stock of when am I trying to put 26 or 36 hours into a 24-hour period.
Yes. I appreciate that. I'm just breathing as you're sharing. Breathing that in. Thank you. We can sometimes make it more complicated than it needs to be, and remembering to pause and breathe. So thank you for sharing. And I agree. It's so important. I really try to pack 30 hours in every once in a while, and it just never works. So I think it's so good to remember to pause and evaluate, especially at the beginning of the day or partway through the day. Like, we can shift what is on our plate at any moment in time if we remember to pause and look at what's on our plate. So love it. Thank you for joining us today, Mary, and for sharing. Listeners, how about you? When we paused and listened, was there something that tugged at your heart a bit? A reminder or something that is really weighing on your heart? And when I mean weighing, I don't mean like a weight, but there's an urgency to leaning into it and receiving. As we get ready to go into our first commercial break, these are actually 2-minute moments just for you. Stay present. Really receive what is here for you today. Acknowledge what it is that you need, and actually dial it up to excitement that you are looking forward to receiving exactly what you need today. And with that, we will look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Tune in to the Just Jan TV show at justjantvshow.com. Visionary women's leader Jan Jorgensen is inspiring, practical, and visionary. Jan brings us everyday transformational emerging leaders, courageously changing the world by speaking and living their truth. Sit around the table with us for profound feminine wisdom, insights, and connection. Be sure to join us at justjantvshow.com. New episodes are every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time at justjantvshow.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes and you took that opportunity to relax. Breathe deeply. Give yourself a gift of 2 minutes of pausing, processing, and breathing. It's amazing how in 2 minutes you can feel more grounded. Your perspective can shift. And if you're looking at that plate and you're trying to pile 30 hours on it, you may have a slightly different perspective. And that can all shift in taking those 2-minute pauses. You'll have opportunities throughout the show to practice that, to build those muscles. I invite you to enjoy those times of pausing, reflecting, and processing. But as we're coming back together, I wanted to more formally introduce each of our guests. We're going to start with Peter. You heard a little bit of his heart as he was really reflecting on balance in our opening comments. But let me more formally introduce Peter. Peter Prichard is an expert in resilience, peak performance, and career excellence. He's presented at over 400 conferences and workshops covering 6 different continents, is a youth advocate and has actually won an award for his work in youth advocacy, and is a speaker, a writer, and absolutely passionate about helping you tap into your resilience and peak performance. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Peter Prichard to the show. Welcome.
Rebecca, thank you. So I want to start this discussion of balance in life with 2 frames of reference for all my comments and my time here. The first is the question of the audience, are you living someone else's life? And the second question is, are you leading a resilient brain and body healthy lifestyle? Those are the 2 questions that will frame everything I talk about in terms of creating balance in life. And the reason I'm starting with, are you living someone else's life, is that in all the work that I've done since 1977, many of the people that I've coached, when I started talking with them in terms of their lives and their goals, what I found was they weren't living their own goals. They weren't living their own needs. They weren't thinking in terms of themselves as much as they were thinking about what other people wanted. When I was a college career counselor, many of the individuals, the young students that I worked with, were in a major that was because their parents wanted it. They wanted them to be a doctor. They wanted them to be a lawyer. I've worked with men and women in their 80s and 90s, and they are volunteering at an organization because they need my help. That organization needs my help. And many of these people are miserable because they don't want to be doing that.
Peter, if I can interrupt you for just a moment, I think what you're sharing is so powerful and really important as we're pausing to ask these questions. But I'd love to also have as a frame of reference why this work of helping people in this way and having them ask these questions, because it is personally, why is that work so important to you?
I've become passionate about helping people live lives with which they're satisfied. That's been my mission statement since 1977 when I got my master's degree and we were forced to create one. So, Rebecca, my mission, my whole adult life as a career counselor has been helping people, as I just said, identify things that would allow them to feel satisfied. So my whole life has been around that. And I'm going to talk about the importance of mission, because when you have something that is driving your actions, when you are doing something that is really part of who you really are, it allows you, and this ties into the theme of this conversation, it allows you to make decisions that allow your life to be balanced. 10 years ago, I created another mission, and that mission is around my youth advocacy, and it was around the idea of lessening the number of sexual assaults and bullying and the amount of tobacco use by young people. That's a mission statement. In 10 years, I wrote 2 books about it. I've worked with many, many young people. So the reason that I'm passionate about these things is because I've had mission statements around them that became part of my life. And what I'm trying to do, and I hope to do some of this in this conversation, is to really get people thinking in terms of, what is their mission? What is that thing that is a part of who they are, a part of who they have to be, in order to move themselves and anyone else that they're involved with forward.
Can you walk us through maybe a starting place for our listeners? So I understand the sharing of something we have to do, but that sometimes when we're staring at that blank piece of paper and we have to write a mission statement, it can feel very heavy and be somewhat overwhelming. So can you share maybe a step, one way they could start looking at that and how important balance can be, or let me restate that, how we can have balance also be a part of that within that mission statement.
You anticipated the next thing I was going to say, so thank you for that. There are 2 key questions that speak to that. I'll do this very quickly. The first key question is, how would you like to spend your time in the next phase of your life? So if you're thinking in terms of the future, if you're thinking in terms of finding balance in your life, that's a very powerful question. You mentioned this early on, Rebecca. If you haven't been thinking of yourself, taking the time to relax, as you did at the opening of your show, and really giving thought to those things that are on your heart, that question gets at that. How would you like to spend your time in the next phase of your life? A second powerful question is, list the times in your life when you were completely satisfied doing what you were doing, when time just flew by. Times in your life when you were completely satisfied. I'm asking the listeners to take a breath and think, what time comes to mind when you were completely satisfied doing what you were doing and time flew by? Rebecca, to your excellent question, the more that we give thought to those things, the more easier it is to create a mission statement that's talking in terms of, a passionate belief in a personal philosophy. That's a mission statement. When you're thinking in terms of those things that satisfy you, and when you're satisfied, it gives you a chance to get at that.
No, this is great. So as we're looking at this, the listeners, this is real time. This is interactive. Really take some time to think about what are times that you are really happy, feeling satisfied, feeling balanced, doing something, and that time just flew by. What are some of those things? That'll help you tap into that. And the other thing I want to talk about that you mentioned is this next phase. And I think sometimes, and I'd be curious your thoughts about this, that people think that someday in the future, but it never is today. How do we start bringing that next phase forward to now, to the present?
My quick answer to that is the more you are focusing in on yourself, the more that you're thinking in terms of what is it that I want to spend my life on in the next phase, the first question that I suggested, the more likely it is you're going to be focused in on the kinds of thoughts that would allow you to be there, be where you need to be. One of the ways of doing that optimally is also to think in terms of how well you manage your time. If you are somebody, you're hearing that going, oh, I'm terrible, I'm all over the place, or whatever, Stephen Covey's work in his book, 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, is the most powerful work on time management. It's chapter 3, his third chapter in that best-selling book. The better job you're doing of prioritizing what's important to you, the better job you're doing of identifying those things that keep you away from it, the more likely it is that you're going to be spending time on yourself and those things that are important. So, very powerful resource for doing that. Please.
Yeah, I appreciate that because you're giving us both practical and profound ways that we can start moving into our mission. And that can help us be in balance with how we're made and how we're wired and what we're called to do. So beautiful, beautiful sharing. And I also know you have prepared an amazing gift for our listeners. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to share a little bit about that. I'll let them know where to go to find it, but I'd love for you to share a little bit about it.
Yes, I've created 3 workshops that are on the website that Rebecca will be mentioning to you. One is called Making the Most of Your Second 50 Years. For those of you who are over 50 and on the call, I've done that workshop to groups, and the whole PowerPoint presentation, the whole planning guide, a description of each of the slides, it's set up so you can do it virtually. All you need to go on to is on the site, download it. You're not going to be tracked. You don't have to register. Making the Most of Your Second 50 Years is the first one. A second one is career exploration and job search for any job in any sector. I've taken all that I've learned in the 40 years I've done this. I've put it into a presentation, again, PowerPoint presentation, a participant guide, and a description of the slides on that. And the third one is how to work, live, and lead for the common good. The idea in this crazy time we're living, how can you live your life? How can you do your work? How can you lead if you're in a leadership role so that you're impacting our world in a positive way? There are 3 of those presentations. They're all free. They're on my website, and so my gift to all of the listeners is when you go there, they're right on the homepage. All you have to do is download them. Again, you don't need to register. No one's going to be following up with you. I wanted to make those available to you as a gift to anyone who goes on the site for the reasons that we're talking about today.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much for making those 3 powerful, almost workshops, because they are
workshops, yes. They are things I've presented,
yeah. Available for our listeners. Very, very generous. So listeners, I'm going to let you know how to access those things at these generous gifts at the end of our show, because I want you to spend the next break, we're going into our next 2 minutes, to really process some of what has been shared and start tapping into your mission statement. It can start, that next phase can start today. And I want to invite you to spend a moment, take these 2 minutes to really process, share, look into some of the things that Peter shared, to really tap into that. What is it that makes you feel fulfilled? How can you start bringing that into what you do? Are the things you're doing really what you're called to do, that you are passionate to do? Let's tap into some of that and start building a mission to bring you forward so that you can shine beautifully in the world. We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
This is the Voice America Women's Channel, where your success is limitless.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Relationship issues? Anxious? Parenting challenges? No more. Learn to live your best life. Tune into Straight Talk with top therapist, relationship, and anxiety expert Sandra Reish. Learn to transform your challenges into effective solutions. Whether it's relationships, parenting, anxiety, or other traps, Sandra will show you how you can live the life of your dreams. Listen live every Thursday afternoon at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Health and Wellness Channel.
Have you had a chance to check out Voice America's online magazine and blog, Press Pass? If you love our hosts and shows, check out articles that give an even deeper perspective. Plus topics about health and fitness, movie reviews, philosophy, business tips and tactics, spirituality, positive thought, current events, and even more about your favorite host. It's just a click away at vapresspass.com. That's vapresspass.com. VA Press Pass by Voice America. All access, all the time.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation. Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes and started to step into your mission a little bit. How powerful to be able to spend this hour together and to lean in and get more clarity around your mission so that as you go back forth out into the world, you are on purpose, with purpose, to not only have this balance in your life, but to absolutely shine, share your gifts, your passion, your mission out in the world. I invite you to keep spending time on this. Every day, you can spend a few minutes checking in on your mission and making sure that as you go into the world, you're doing so on purpose and with purpose. Because nobody else is made just like you, and you have an opportunity every day to share that out. But sometimes that can be a little bit difficult if we're feeling weighed down, clogged up. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Our next expert's going to help us look into that, release some things perhaps that are not serving, so that as we're going out to the world, we are on purpose, moving forward powerfully. Let me introduce our next amazing expert. Her name is Mary Shores. She is an innovative thought leader, an author, founder and CEO of a multi-million-dollar business, founder of the Conscious Communications System. She's been featured on local and national TV, radio, podcast shows, blogs, and is absolutely passionate about helping you create your reality using scientific methods combined with personal development. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Mary Shores to the show. Welcome.
Thank you, Rebecca. That was such a fun introduction. I enjoyed it so much.
You are so welcome. I hope you felt my hands raised up in celebration. So excited to have you here today.
Woohoo, celebrate.
Exactly. And that's something we can forget sometimes. Forget to take those moments to celebrate and enjoy exactly where we are. So thank you for taking a moment to celebrate with me. I love it. Oh, I want to steer our conversation to talking about the work that you do, and I know that you do so many things, and you have this expertise in really helping us use scientific methods combined with personal development to really get powerful results. And I wanted to touch in with why. Why is this work that you do personally so important to you?
Well, ever since I was just a little young child, I always was super fascinated with anything from ancient cultures, ancient history, ancient civilization, and I really found my sweet spot in exploring the mysteries of the universe. Mm-hmm. And that really helped me through a childhood that had a lot of uncertainties in it, and as I grew up, that curiosity only grew and grew. until I got to the point where I started to study it and apply it to my business, and then apply it to personal development, and then throughout my 2.5 years of writing this book.
Wonderful. Well, I love that it's been like you've been on mission since the very beginning, and what a powerful way to walk and to live your life and then help others. So I love that you shared that. Thank you. And I know that you have this amazing book that you have produced and brought forth, and you are also an expert in helping us live in alignment. So I wanted to have you share about living in alignment, and then we're going to get into your new book information too.
Great. Well, the way that I like to start off talking about alignment is to just acknowledge that it seems like everybody today is talking about alignment. And what I feel that is missing is everyone's talking about alignment, but nobody's really defining in a way that we can put that into action steps and apply it to our lives. And so what I like to talk about is what is alignment and how can we achieve this like mysterious alignment thing. And what I've discovered is that we all have these infinite possibilities that are available to us in our world. And when we hear that term, infinite possibilities, we always assume that means something good. But I have the possibility of becoming a best-selling author, and I also have the possibility of failing. And so it's like, what really makes a possibility into a probability, meaning that it's likely to happen? And that is with getting your life into alignment. And what I mean by that is when you have your thoughts, your words, and your actions all pointing in the same direction of the life that you want to lead. So my example that I like to share from my own life is that for many, many years, I was saying that I wanted to write a book, but my mantra was, I'm not a writer. And so that's an example of being out of alignment. The words, I am not a writer, was like my handwriting that mantra onto my soul from my subconscious programming, saying that I could not become a writer. Because somewhere deep inside of me, I had a belief that I didn't possess the skill set that was necessary to become a writer. So I had to change that. I had to change my words. I had to take action and just move one step closer always to living that reality of becoming a writer.
Beautiful. And I'm going to have us pause for a moment because I think what you shared is really powerful and profound. And I'm just resonating because I used to tell myself that too. And I said it out loud that I am not a writer over and over and over. And I had to release that and shift as well. So listeners, I want you to think about, is there something you're sharing that perhaps is almost completely out of alignment or interfering or working against what you're wanting to do, what you're wanting to claim, what you're wanting to step into? I think it's really important to check in once in a while. It's not with criticism, it's not with judgment, but I love this infinite possibilities and moving it towards probability. And by checking in and seeing where are we out of alignment and where are we in alignment can help us do that. So just take a moment, listeners. Think about that. Take a quick note. And then I want to bring us back to, because I know you believe cleansing the clog in our, this philosophy on cleansing the clog is really critical and important to help us find balance. And I'd love to have you expand on that. Share what is your cleanse the clogs philosophy and how can that help us find alignment?
That is such a great question, and I really appreciate you asking me that because Cleanse or Clog was really it's the center of the book Conscious Communications, and it's one concept that if you can just understand this, and it's something you can apply right now today, you can actually begin to see your life shift within about 45 days. And really, Cleanse or Clog means that it goes to that action piece. When I said alignment means having thoughts, words, and actions in the same direction of your goals. And we talked a little bit about the words, but the next piece is taking action. And so understanding that everything you do, everything you say, every word you speak, every action you take in life is either cleansing you or clogging you. And the best example I know of to show people this is to say, if I'm on a diet and I want to lose 20 pounds, then all I need to do is I don't need to learn like Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig or paleo or keto. I don't need to do any of that because intuitively I just need to know cleanse or clog. If I look at a piece of food and ask myself the question, will this piece of food cleanse me or clog me? Then it's really easy to understand what the answers are. So, for example, if I look at an apple, then I know that an apple is a cleansing food. It has nutrients. It's going to be healthy for my system. But if I look at a Snickers bar, then other than just calories, there's really that's a clog. It has sugar and fat and all kinds of things that, gooey, yummy nougat, but it's a clog. And as long as I can live within this 80-20 rule, meaning that 80% of the time I'm choosing cleansing choices, and 20% of the time it's okay to have your cake and eat it too. But I started to see that this rule applied to every area of my life. So it applied to relationships. Everything I say or do, every action I take in my personal relationship is either cleansing that relationship or creating a deeper connection, or it's clogging that relationship and driving a disconnection. And the very same is true for my finances, for my career, for my self-care, and for my spiritual practice, and for my personal development.
Thank you for sharing. And listeners, our time goes so quickly here, but I want you to pause for a moment and really think about this. I love the 80-20 rule. If we can do 80% of things that cleanse us and 20% clog, it's okay to do some of those things. We can be on track towards where we are wanting to go with things and really being in alignment. So really, really powerful way to look at things, and that it overrides all areas. It's not just in our relationship with food, but in all areas of our life, we can apply this philosophy, this principle. Now, I know that you have created an amazing gift for our listeners today, and I wanted to make sure we took a moment to have you share about that.
What I have is, first of all, I have a brand new release book out with Hay House. Hay House is my dream publisher because I've just absolutely have always adored Louise Hay. And I created a guidebook. It's a journal that goes along with the book. So it's 36-page, fully illustrated. It's absolutely a beautiful journal that you can download and you can have it today and use it along with the book. So it's just going to take the readers through every one of the exercises and give them a space to be able to record their thoughts as they're doing the book.
Beautiful. What a generous gift to be able to capture our thoughts, to be guided through. Thank you for making that available. We are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. The time goes so quickly. Listeners, I want to give you a moment to process some of what Mary has shared with you. So take these next 2 minutes just for you to think about, are you living in alignment? If you were to look at what's on your plate, cleansing or clogging, and will this powerful tool that Mary is making available to you be supportive of you? I think it will be amazing, and I would encourage you to lean in. So when we come back, I'm going to let you know exactly how to access both of these powerful gifts that they're making available to you. Meanwhile, take these 2 minutes just for you to dig your roots deeper, think about your mission, and this 80-20 principle. How can you cleanse the clog? 80% is cleansing, and get that clog down to 20%. We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
The Voice America Women's Channel.
Tune in to the Just Jan TV show at justjantvshow.com. Visionary women's leader Jan Jorgensen is inspiring, practical, and visionary. Jan brings us everyday transformational emerging leaders, courageously changing the world by speaking and living their truth. Sit around the table with us for profound feminine wisdom, insights, and connection. Be sure to join us at justjantvshow.com. New episodes are every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time at justjantvshow.com.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
We're making it easier to listen to the Voice America Talk Radio Network wherever you go. In addition to listening live, you can check out information about your favorite talk show hosts, discover new talk show personalities, add shows to your list of favorites, and listen to all our show archives on demand. All from your iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android. Download it from the Apple App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market, and get ready to tune in. The Voice America mobile app, powered by Aircast.
The Voice America Women's Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes and you started to look at what's on your plate and really evaluate and hopefully start shifting things to that 80-20, that really removing that 20% that's clogging things up and making sure that you have that 80% that is supporting you to be in alignment, to be on mission, and really live on purpose and with purpose. That's our focus. That is what this show is about. We want to help you live on purpose and with purpose. Our mission is to equip and empower you to do that in practical and profound ways. So I hope you took some great notes today, that you have some actions that you are ready to step into and take. And I've asked my guests if they can share one more reminder or piece of advice to support you on your journey. So make sure to have those pens and paper ready. But I want to follow up on something I promised in the beginning and throughout the show. I wanted to let you know how to access their amazing gifts that they are supporting you with. This is a way for you to lean in real time, get support on your journey. This is that 80% that can help you move forward in your alignment, be poured into. Because if we aren't remembering to allow ourselves to be poured into, we'll pretty quickly be running on empty. So I'm going to encourage you to lean into these powerful gifts. Here's where you'll go. RadioGifts.net. Again, that's RadioGifts.net, a net full of multiple gifts. You'll scroll down to today's date, enter your name and email address so we can stay in touch, and then you'll see Peter's picture and his gift description. You'll see Mary's picture and her gift description, and I'm going to encourage you to lean into these powerful tools to let you have the same access to the experts that I do to support you on your journey, because you are absolutely needed for such a time as this. And I want you to breathe that in. Again, that's RadioGifts.net. And then I'm going to invite our guests to share one more tip, about 60 seconds of something you can take action on today, or a reminder they want to make sure you know and take with you. Peter, can I have you share?
Yes, I want to recommend two books that are foundational into the idea of creating balance in your life. The first is called The Resiliency Advantage by Al Siebert, Siebert. Resiliency combined with mission, very powerful way to create balance in your life. And he has a website, resiliencycenter.com, where you can take a quick quiz and see how resilient you are. The second is called The Brain Training Revolution by Dr. Paul Bendheim, Bendheim. The importance of having a healthy body and mind as you're moving forward, no matter what your age, will allow you to make informed decisions that allow you to have balance in your life. These two books have been foundational in the work that I've done over the years, helping people create balance in their life. The Resiliency Advantage, The Brain Training Revolution. There you go.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing those resources. I hope that you wrote those down. If not, you can always hit the replay and hear that section again. But we love to bring you tools and resources to support you on your journey. And
they're also on my website, so they would find them there as well.
Perfect. And Mary, I'd love to have you share a quick tip or a reminder to support our listeners today.
The tip I want to share is really something that's near and dear to my heart, which is to understand that the story you tell yourself about yourself will become your identity. And so many times we're very attached to some of the tragic stories that have happened in our past. And I am no stranger to that. And it's very important that we begin to loosen the grip on our past stories and reframe them in a way where we understand what were the empowering lessons that we learned in order to thrive through those tragedies.
Wonderful. And I love how that puts us in the driving seat. Like, we can change our story, we can focus on those things that are in alignment and help us move forward powerfully and to be aware of what we're telling ourselves. So wonderful. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate you sharing. And listeners, one of the things that struck me and during our time together was, and Mary, this was in your section where you were sharing how you told yourself you were not a writer. And I told myself that for years. And I discovered I write my stories verbally. It's more in speaking. And if I can capture those words, I'm able to translate them into print. And I'm sharing this shift, that when I made that shift and I could actually claim that I was a writer, I can now be here connected with all of you saying that I have 15 books that will be published by the end of this year that I have been a co-writer in, or I have led personally and written my story in. And many of them have become bestsellers, international bestsellers, #1 bestsellers. But it took that shift of being willing to change my story, to really see who I was and claim that and be in alignment with that and take steps. So I want to invite you, no matter what story you've been telling yourself, you can change it starting today. We've given you some great tools and resources to support you on that journey, because it is not a solo journey. It's important to tap into those resources. And I'm actually excited to let you know the book that we just published on the 15th, Bloom Where You Are Planted and Shine, which is how we close each of our shows, actually became a #1 bestseller on Amazon. And today is the first day that we are releasing that in print. So it's very meaningful, that share that Mary gave to us, to me personally, about that, and just that reminder to be careful about what we share and what we claim and what we're willing to step into. Because I believe each of you are beautifully and wonderfully made on purpose and for a purpose. And I believe for such a time as now. I want to encourage you, as you go back out into the world, do it on purpose. Step forward powerfully, being willing to share the gift of who you are with the world. That's how we make a positive difference, heart by heart, life by life. That as you go forth, may you always, always choose, be willing to bloom where you are planted and shine. Have an amazing week, everyone. We'll look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Women's Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.